Hi guys, this is Willix and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Also known as also known as Love, also known as Willix B, and it's great to be doing this again. It's great to see you guys again. Okay, so let's get into this video. So if you guys have not been to my page before, I hope that you enjoy my content. Don't forget to do all the cool stuff, the like, comment, subscribe, like all the cool amazing stuff. Comment, let me know any videos you want, because I want to do all types of like different content on this channel. I am an artist. I'm mostly an artist. I do all different types of art. I make music for one, so you can check out my music page. I think it should be somewhere in my bio. There's a link around there somewhere. But I'm an actor, writer, model. I do some art in my free time. But yeah, I'm a creative, so I love to do a lot of creative stuff. Mostly, I would say mostly my first career choice would be like acting. I've been doing acting for like a really long time, and what I actually wanted to discuss with you today is doing things with passion. I know it's been a while since I've been, I've done a video and I've spoken to you guys, but yeah, I feel like sometimes it's so important to be able to step back, especially when, when you feel like you need it, when you feel like you need to take a step back, heal, analyze things and show up as your best self with a clear mind. I feel like a lot of the time that is something that is underrated. You know what? Also, quick note, I love my nails, but I need to go get them redone, so like get like infills. So yeah, I need to go get that done. So I am looking forward to that. So excuse my nails. Energy can be very contagious, right? So I feel like before I do anything, or before I make a move or do something that I really want to do, I want to make sure that I'm healed, because if I'm presenting myself to you guys, I feel like my energy can be quite contagious. How I feel can be quite contagious, and it's good that I step back, heal, so I can present myself as my best self, for the sake of you guys. I feel like some people don't know how to heal themselves or analyze themselves, so like don't like to do the work of being a better person, for themselves. I feel like people, like, sometimes, a lot of the time, like, people have normalized projecting their issues and have normalized affecting others by how they feel, and I don't think that is something that is quite healthy. I feel like if I'm going to show up every day, I'd want to show up as like my best self, Anyways, oh my god, I want to do an OOTD. I currently have no shoes on right now though, but I have on this cute outfit. I got some of my moisturizer in it this morning with these like super cute shorts. So that's what I look like today. But yeah, honestly, live, I feel like, since you guys haven't seen me, I've taken a much needed break. I feel like I have school to focus on right now, as well as like my career, in all different areas. Oh my gosh. Another thing I do is I actually have my own clothing brand, which I've basically launched it, but there's a couple of things I need to get done so I can like present it to you guys. But when that is completely done as well, that would be somewhere in the bio. But yeah, I think that in today's society, I think a lot of people have like their own issues, like their own jealousy. I feel like people don't really want to like do the work. I think people would rather take from people and like affect people in like really negative ways, and I choose to like be able to heal and be able to always show up as my best self, not for myself, but for my loved ones, friends, family, whatever it would be. I feel like instead of like feeling entitled for like somebody to do the work for you, or feeling like you have to take from somebody, I feel like I'd rather like do the work myself, you know, and I think that that's something that everybody should do. I feel like what we should normalize, we should normalize what is healthy. And what is healthy is like being able to look at yourself, being able to look at your flaws, being able to like show up as your best self. I think, you know, social media again has normalized, you know, looking at everybody's lives and like what everybody else is doing rather than like normalizing what our own lives and what we're doing and what we can do to like improve ourselves every day. And you know, yeah, I would definitely recommend, I'll definitely recommend focusing on oneself. I would definitely recommend, you know, being able to like step back and heal and like consider how your actions affect other people's actions. You know how they say like hurt people, and like misery loves company. I feel like that's not the type of world I want to live in. Like, if I want to live in a world, I want to live in a world where, you know, people are able to make their own choices. Like, I don't want to be a company to like misery. I want to be a company to happiness, to people that are able to think and function like me, that genuinely like have my best interest at heart. And I feel like, believe it or not, there are such great people in the world. Like, there are so many amazing people that live in the world. There's so many great people that live in the world. You know, I think doing self-work isn't something major. I think people have normalized living a lie, you know? Like, I think a lot of the things we see today aren't as authentic, which pretty much sucks. Yeah, I feel like I would always choose authenticity, which is basically happiness, you know, rather than choose something that is false, something that is like an image, something that, you know, is portrayed to look like authenticity rather than actually being authentic. So I feel like it's always important to choose yourself, you know? I would say that I'm very much like a cat. I feel like a lot of people have had their own projections and, you know, portraying other people, and it's so important that you don't internalize that. I think that should be a whole complete video. So personally, I think that projections basically like bounce off me because I know who I am so well, and I've been able to take the time to like do that work. And whenever I take a stance back, that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm looking at myself, I'm reflecting, I'm improving, you know. I feel like it's always important to be doing something, and I feel like for a long time that's what I was doing. And you know, that way that we've been taught as a society that we can only be successful if you know, we're moving and moving and moving. And for some people that's a possibility, but for some people all that does is for them is toxicity. Not that you can't do the work or you shouldn't be doing the work. I feel like I completely support working hard and smart if you're able to, and if you have those resources. But again, not everybody has those resources. Basically, it's important to do the work when you can, but it's also important to take a step back. Some people are great at, you know, doing both and balancing things out, and like are great with time and, you know, things working out exactly how they're meant to work out. Some people just ignore the work, you know. Like, I feel like a lot of people are able to like be like puppets and be like controlled in today's society, like doing what everybody tells them and like following the crowd and, you know, being a bit more toxic. And I think for other people that is like completely different, and I respect that. People that are able to have balls and like make their own choices and decisions and like stand their ground and like have so much self-respect for themselves, I think that is, you know, I think that's a powerful thing. And it's not easy. I feel like, you know, it's a world where people, I don't know, I feel like it's the world currently where people love to like power trip sometimes, like go on a power trip sometimes, and, you know, it's like you want all these resources, but why do you want them? Like, do you want them because you want to, you know, use them for yourself, or is it like a control and a power thing, you know? Like, I think that there's nothing wrong with working. I think working is great, but I think that, you know, we also need to focus on like healing the internal self instead of like affecting everybody else with negative energy. Like, I don't want to be in misery and I choose not to, you know? Going back to like the fact that I said that personally, I always, like, I've always been like a cat. Like, I've had like a personality of a cat. So like, sort of like the independence, I've always been quite independent. Like, I'm able to be by myself with like no problems. I'm able to function in the world alone. Not alone that like I wouldn't have the support if I needed it, and I'm so grateful for those, you know, people that are there to support me when I need it. But I think that, you know, I'm able to be independent mostly. I'm able to, like, I love my own company. Like, like, my natural state is literally happiness and it's joy, and it's just me being myself no matter when, no matter what. And I think that I also love to do what I want to do. Like, if I want to do something, like, I want to do that, and that's what makes me happy, and I'm able to choose myself. Like, I feel like my career path, everything that I do is just like, it's creativity. It's like, you know, the it's the, how do I say it? How do I put this? It's like the magic of creating that just like makes me so freaking excited, and being able to do that means a lot to me. I think being able to do that, you know, I think is such a privilege, because I think a lot of people, a lot of people are doing things that they don't want to do, and it's not a place of, it's not coming from a place of passion. And I think that, you know, when they see people that might be doing things that they love and might be seeing people that are moving from a place of passion, I think, you know, people don't like that. I think people, you know, would, like, people hate that, and like they look down on that, because it's like, you know, like, how dare you, why are you able to do that? Like, I've been forced my whole life to do this, and now like I'm stuck doing that and I hate it. So why are you able to, you know, do the things you want? You should not be able to like be doing that. Like, my whole, like, you know, those type of people are thinking my whole life is fake. So why are you able to, you know, do that? And I feel like these are important things to point out, and important things to like notice about people. And I think that also like stops it's just, overall, I would say that it's so important to know yourself and to know who you are and to understand yourself. I think that is very powerful. So definitely that's work that you should be doing, as an individual. Yeah, I think in today's world, people lack a lot of like self-love, and that basically affects people's ability to be able to like even love others, and to have like the appropriate boundaries, and to, you know, be respectful. And I feel like a lot of, you know, a lot of negative things right now, you know, a lot of like negative behaviors are like quite promoted and like normalized. Like, I feel like it's perfectly fine for people to have boundaries. Like, I think, you know, just because you don't love yourself, or you haven't been blessed with like a great amount of self-love, just because, you know, you're not able to be truly royal, and just because you have to fake your whole life, doesn't mean that other people have to do the same thing, if you know what I mean. So if you know what I mean, I feel like, yeah, so it's so important that we make sure that we're making like conscious decisions. And I think that personally, like, when you're able to know yourself, when you love yourself, when you're able to make like, you know, great choices, I feel like moving greatly just comes so easy. Like, moving wisely just comes so easy to you. I think that it's, you know, a lot of people, you know, because of like the lack of self-love, they also want you to look at them, and like they want you to like worship them and see them as like this. I mean, sometimes when you love yourself so much and like, you know, you're a god or a goddess, you just, you know, you do appreciate that. You do appreciate the love, you do appreciate the worship, you do like, I don't know, you do appreciate that. But you know, I feel like you do appreciate that, but I think that on a serious level, I feel like on a serious level, it's so toxic to like do things. It's so toxic to do things, you know, to other people, like to be just annoying and to like have like make the dumbest decisions ever, like with the dumbest actions ever, just for attention or approval or for love from other people, you know, rather than like, and like maybe fake your whole existence rather than like being able to like love yourself and be authentic. And you know, if if you also love yourself, I feel like, I mean, when you love yourself so much, you're like your priority, and you're able to like give that filled up cup to other people. But yeah, so you don't like, you're not even worried about consequences in a sense, because you know that you're doing all the things you're supposed to be doing. Meanwhile, those that don't love themselves also are the people that don't worry about the consequences to their actions. Those that are like the loudest and like, not the only loudest, but those that are the loudest, those are the people that, you know, don't care about the consequences to their negative actions. Those, they're also the ones that feel very entitled. Not only do they feel very entitled, they feel like, you know, like they also, again, I feel like they're probably like also like the most unskilled, or like, but they have like this, I don't know, like they feed off people that I just like them, or just this negative, and you know, like they have like this victim mentality and like victim complex, and they feel like they have to destroy and ruin everything, and like is the right thing to do, and you know, they have to affect everybody. And I feel like if somebody's doing that, that is completely them. Like, while I'm saying, like, it's beginning to go dark. I think it looks like it's about to rain right now. But yeah, again, that just causes darkness. That's like negative, annoying, dark energy, you know, while some of us don't want to live in that energy. Like, you know I want great things for my life. I know I want to, you know, great things for like the people around me. I want to make the best memories. I want to live the best life I can. And I just think that, and I also love myself so much to not let anybody stop that from happening, you know. So I think that's very important to me. But yeah, that's a bit of what I wanted to touch on in this video. I just think that it's so important for us to like look at ourselves and like analyze ourselves and analyze who we are, instead of like focusing on people's lives and focusing on people's like how other people live, and you know, like having lack of boundaries and thinking that we're so powerful that we can play God and like, you know, cause distractions and not create our own lives, and like wanting to want, like not even wanting, trying to like have other people's lives. I feel like be you, be authentic, like, you know. You know, it's just, or no matter what, you're really not going to be happy. Like everything you want, like look at yourself and ask yourself, do I really want it, or is it because of the influence of what I've seen, and because people want it and I think it's going to make me a somebody? Is that why I want it, or is there other reasons? I think that that's like such an important question. Like, I think it's important not to be a sheep, you know. I think sometimes you'd be surprised where true happiness really comes from. But yeah, guys, this has been a long enough video. I want to thank you so much if you watched all the way through this video. I have content like this coming. I'm also looking forward to like starting a Patreon. If you want longer videos, I don't know how this would go, but if you want longer videos, maybe I'll post it there. I don't know how this is going to go, but yeah, I also have like my career to like be focusing on and like things to be doing. So yeah, guys, let me know what you thought about this video. Yeah, if you have any comments, anything you want to say at all, anything that I should touch on, don't be afraid to put it in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me. Make sure to like, subscribe, and again, comment. And yeah, stay bright, stay beautiful. And never forget to put yourself first. I think that you know, there's beautiful things in loving yourself and putting yourself first, and I think it's so beautiful not to be a sheep. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you tell me what you think. I want to hear your thought as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sending you so much love, and yeah, have a beautiful rest of your day. Yeah, or evening, whenever you're watching this. Love you. Bye.